the Phantom Feast. Raj Basu. After 7 long years, my wife Jilik, our 2 sons, 4-year-old Adi and 2-year-old Avi and I, finally made the much-anticipated trip from the US to our home country, India, for an extended 2-month stay. Our hearts were filled with excitement as we landed in Kolkata, the gateway to our journey. Our first destination was my parental home in Arambagh, a mere 2 hours from the bustling city. This visit was particularly special because it was Adi and Avi's first time in India. The significance of introducing them to their heritage and extended family filled Jilik and me with immense joy. We couldn't wait to share the vibrant culture and deep-rooted traditions with our boys. Our next destination was Jilik's parental home in Bankura. On a drizzly evening, we packed into our car, driven by Ravi, a seasoned and reliable driver. The journey from Arambagh to Bankura took us through the picturesque rural roads and quaint villages of our own Bengal. However, as dusk settled, the sky darkened gloomily, and a storm began to brew. As we left Arambagh, the rain began to pour heavily, drenching the landscape and transforming the road into a slick, treacherous path. Thunder rumbled ominously in the distance, a prelude to the storm that soon engulfed us. Ravi, with his years of experience, navigated the winding roads with careful precision. In the back seat, Adi and Avi were enthralled by the flashing lightning and roaring thunder, their excited chatter a sharp contrast to the growing sense of unease. Halfway to Bankura, the storm intensified into a blinding fury. Sheets of rain battered the car, and visibility dropped to near zero. Ravi, ever the cautious driver, suggested we stop for dinner and wait out the worst of the storm. We pulled into an isolated village restaurant that seemed to materialize out of the darkness, its neon sign glowing faintly through the deluge. The sign read, "Bengali Masala," which elicited a chuckle from me, despite the tension. It was an old 2-story building, with the entire ground floor dedicated to the restaurant. The restaurant looked surprisingly inviting, especially in that remote area. Inside, warm, dim lighting cast a cozy glow over the wooden tables and chairs. The walls were adorned with traditional Bengali artwork and photographs, evoking a sense of nostalgia and comfort. Several other patrons were already seated, enjoying their meals, which reassured us. We settled at a table near a window, watching the storm rage outside. The elderly man who seemed to be the owner greeted us warmly and took our order: rice, dal, some local vegetables, and Bengali chicken curry. The restaurant's interior, with its warm, dim lighting and cozy ambiance, was a stark contrast to the chaos of the storm outside. As we waited for our food, the atmosphere inside the restaurant felt oddly comforting. Adi, ever the curious one, found another kid named Bablu from the next table. Soon the 2 of them were playing together, their laughter echoing through the spacious restaurant as they ran around the open space. After a few minutes, Adi came back to our table, his eyes wide with excitement and confusion. "Dad, how do you crawl up the walls?" he asked, pointing towards the hallway that led to the kitchen. Bablu just did it. A chill ran down my spine. Unsure how to respond, I exchanged glances and smiles with Bablu's parents at the next table. Their faces were eerily calm, their eyes fixed on something unseen. An uneasiness settled over me, the comforting atmosphere of the restaurant now tinged with a mysterious dread. Our food arrived and we began to eat. The flavors were rich and comforting, but an inexplicable heaviness hung in the air, casting an ominous shadow over our meal. As we finished our meal, suddenly, without warning, the power went out, plunging the restaurant into darkness. Thunder continued to rumble outside. The room was briefly illuminated by flashes of lightning, and during one of those flashes, I saw something that made my blood run cold. The other tables, where people had been eating moments ago, were now completely empty. Jilik clutched my hand. "Something isn't right," she whispered. I nodded, my heart racing. "I feel it too." The storm outside mirrored the tempest within. Another flash of lightning revealed something even more horrifying. The once cozy interior of the restaurant was now a decrepit ruin. The walls were crumbling, and the tables and chairs had vanished, leaving us sitting on cold, hard rocks. The air grew colder, and the sounds of the storm outside seemed distant, replaced by an eerie, unnatural silence. In that moment, the reality of our surroundings shifted, and a chilling realization set in. We were not alone, and whatever was with us was not of this world. Terror seized us, leaving us momentarily paralyzed as we struggled to comprehend the menace before us, our minds overwhelmed with dread and uncertainty. I could feel Jilik tense up beside me, her hand gripping Adi's tightly. Avi started to cry, his wails piercing the eerie silence. Ravi leaned over and whispered urgently, "We need to leave, now." Panic surged through us. I grabbed Adi, and Jilik held on to Avi as Ravi led us to the exit. We burst out into the storm, the rain a cold shock against our skin. Ravi quickly unlocked the car and ushered us inside. He started the engine and we sped away, the haunted restaurant disappearing into the night. As we sped away from the frightening restaurant, the rain beating heavily against the windows, Ravi began to speak in a low, somber voice. "There's an old legend around here," he began. "Years ago, a group of villagers took refuge in a restaurant near this area during a storm, much like tonight. A bolt of lightning struck the building, causing a devastating fire. None of them ever made it out. Since then, their spirits are said to haunt that place, endlessly replaying their final meal." His voice trembled slightly as he continued, "I think this restaurant was that haunted place. If I had known, I would have never stopped there." Jilik and I exchanged worried glances, the gravity of what we had just experienced sinking in. "Ravi, it's not your fault," I assured him, my voice steady despite the lingering fear. "If it weren't for you, we might not have made it out safely." Jilik nodded in agreement, her face pale but resolute. "Yes, Ravi, you saved us." Ravi's grip on the steering wheel tightened, his eyes fixed on the road ahead. The storm was beginning to subside, but the memory of those ghostly figures and the sudden transformation of the restaurant from a cozy haven to a crumbling ruin lingered heavily in our minds. As we drove further away, the tension in the car slowly began to ease. The children, exhausted from the ordeal, soon fell asleep. Jilik and I, still shaken, held each other tightly, grateful to have escaped. The familiar welcoming lights of Bankora soon appeared in the distance, a beacon of safety and normalcy. Yet, the chilling encounter on the rural roads of Bengal became a story that would haunt us for years to come. A reminder of the thin veil between the living and the dead, and the eerie mysteries that lurk in the heart of Bengal's serene villages.